Hi, I'm Jamie, and in this video I'm going to show you how to prepare this week's starter, the Celeriac Veloute. So Veloute is essentially a really creamy, delicious, luxurious soup, and it's got a lovely velvety texture. So I think something great in anticipation of Christmas. I personally really love celeriac. It's got it reminds you a little bit, sort of a slight note of celery. It's a root vegetable, but it's also got a nice sweetness to it as well. And often people don't really know what to do with celeriac, or just aren't adventurous when they see it in the supermarket. But despite its appearance, I think the taste is lovely, and I hope you guys enjoy it at home. So the veloute comes in this container. So we're going to start by reheating that. So if you want to first of all get yourself a saucepan, and then open the container and just empty everything into the saucepan. And you want to reheat this over a medium heat on the stove. Just heat it gently. It is quite a thick liquid, so as it heats and as it starts to simmer at the bottom, it can start spitting a little bit. So make sure you're around and you stir it often to prevent it from spitting. I'm going to do it on a high heat and just keep a close eye on it, just to keep this video a little bit shorter. Get yourself a soup plate to serve, and I've also got the beetroot powder here. All beetroot powder is beetroot that I've sliced and then dehydrated in the oven overnight, and then blended into a really fine powder. So essentially it's pure beetroot. I've also got some micro garlic chives as garnish, and some smoked salt. So this is molten salt, but it's been smoked. I've given you quite a little bit of it. You don't obviously need to use all of it. Just season to taste. And I've got some truffle oil as well. Again, I've given you quite a bit, which you can always use for something else if you like truffle oil. But just a few dots around the plates should be enough for this dish. So just going to have a quick look at how the veloute is doing. Just needs a couple more minutes. So just quickly on plating. So usually in these videos I plate the dish, I plate it the way I like to plate it, but please feel free at home to experiment. Plating is a really fun part of cooking. You've obviously taken all those hours preparing everything, cooking everything, and then when the time comes to plate, everything's there for you. And you've got this opportunity to have a bit of fun and to be creative. So enjoy it and feel free to plate things differently, however you wish to at home. So my veloute is warmed. A little bit more in there. I've got just one portion of the veloute here for the demo. If you just give it a wiggle, that'll have everything settle nicely. I'll just put this one to one side. So with the beetroot powder, there's a lot you can do with it. If you've got a tea strainer at home, you can actually put it into the tea strainer and then just tap it. So you've got it kind of snowing down. I love the beetroot. I mean, it doesn't give it a huge amount of flavor. Obviously, it's got a slightly sweet flavor, if you do taste it. And by all means, feel free to try a little bit so you can see what it's like. But the reason why I'm using it here today is really theatre. It's got this lovely red color, and we're coming up to Christmas. So red is the color of Christmas. Let me just show you. And it almost looks like velvet. So from a semantic standpoint, I think it's a lovely thing to serve with the veloute. So I'm going to plate it just very simply. I'm just going to take my fingers, just make sure they're nice and dry, just pinch a little bit, and I'm just going to do a little line down the center of the plate and onto the rims as well. There we go. I'm just going to wash my hands. And again, I've given you lots of the powder, so don't feel you need to use all of it. I'm going to take my micro garlic chives, and if you just take a few strands and just lay them out in the center like so. There we go. And I'm going to take the salt. So, as I said, the celeriac has a nice sweetness to it. And then the salty, the smoked salt just helps to break that up a little bit. Little bursts of saltiness. Make sure you grind it nice and fine with your fingers. And again, this is to taste. So, you know, if you like salt, feel free to add a little bit more. If you'd rather less, then, you know, start with a little bit, and you can always a little bit more as you go. And then last but certainly not least, we have the truffle oil. So at home, you'll see it comes in one of these little containers. You can just take a little teaspoon and take a little bit and then pour it over. I have this fine nozzle dispenser here, so I'm going to use this, but at home, feel free to obviously just use a teaspoon. This one allows me to just have a dot come through each time, so I'm just going to put a few dots like that. And there you have it, this week's starter, Celeriac Veloute with the beetroot dust, micro garlic chives, and then just finished off with the truffle oil. Hope you enjoy it, and Merry Christmas, and hope to see you in the new year.